would solve his money problems. And the trouble is, every time he got a pay raise, he got bigger problems. So it made him poorer and poorer the more money he made. Does that make sense, you guys? That was a very big problem with him. And then the third thing I realized by having two dads and having two contrasting points of view was that there's two kinds of money problems. One problem is not enough money. The other problem is too much money. And they're both problems. And the thing that I say to people is this, that, like I think most people think they're real special. I'm the only one with money problems. Well, the reality is everybody has money problems. Everybody. Every single person. Every company has money problems. Every country has money problems. Every government has money problems. Everybody has a money problem. What makes you rich or poor or middle class is how you challenge or handle the problem. And what most people do, since, so most of us came from families where the problem was too much or too little. Too little. And that becomes our idea. We think money is scarce, hard to get, work hard for it. Very popular idiom going around today suggesting that the way you get rich is cut up your credit cards. Oh, man. Live below your means. Those are poor people's mentalities. Save, go long term, buy mutual funds. And it's not a rich person's way of thinking. I love my credit cards. They make me happy. I drive, it says, drive a cheap car. I don't look good in a cheap car. I don't feel good. Now, the point I'm making here, again, there's poor, middle class, and rich. And very early on in my life, I really realized that being poor and struggling did not look good on my face. And I did not like it. But I grew up in a family that if you were rich, the idea was that you were crooked, evil, not caring, inhuman, not generous, and all that stuff. So if I said I wanted to be rich, then I went against my family's values. It was tough having that. Now, the other thing I saw was that by my rich dad managing his money well and becoming a business owner and an investor, that he got richer and richer and richer. Then he had a different kind of problem. His problem was too much money. And my rich dad said to me when I was about 18 or 19 years old, he said, son, there's two kinds of problems. Not enough or too much. Which one do you want? And at that point, and so I made an obvious choice. I said, I like the one with too much. I want to have that problem. And it's a very big problem. So knowing these three different things, I could make different distinctions and different choices in my life. The big point I want to make today is that money comes down to fundamentally a choice. That's all it is. And so, as a young boy having two dads starting at age 9, I had to make a choice of which dad I was going to listen to. And it was a tough decision. Really, really, really hard because I loved both men. Both men were big men. If there was a role model that they filled, they were tall, and they acted like John Wayne or Robert Mitchum, not Pee Wee Herman. They were big, strong, powerful, good, honest, hardworking men. I love them both. But their ideas were almost polarized, completely opposite. And that's why in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, in the book, I write that Robert Frost's poem, I think The Road Less Taken or The Road Less Traveled, I had to make a choice of which one I was going to listen to. Which one was I going to follow down the path? And I made that choice. And it was a hard decision because I had to go against my whole family's culture, beliefs, and they're all school teachers. When I came back from Vietnam, they said, I got my bachelor's degree. I got that Bachelor of Science. They said, now, son, you are going for your master's, aren't you? I said, I kind of doubt it. He said, but you won't get a good job. You get a better pay raise if you have a higher degree. I said, I'm not going to get a job. And it's hard. You sit at the dinner table and there's no conversation, you know. Well, you going to get your doctorates? I said, well, if I'm not going to get my master's, I don't think I'm going to get my doctorates, you know. Yeah, but you get a better pay raise. You know, they came from the government model that it was not what you did, it was how high, what your degree was that you got paid by. And that's their reality. It's not my reality. So I had to make a choice. And the thing I say to people is that in many ways I'm more like my poor dad. You know, when I retired in 1994, sold my company and all this, I was set for life. You know, I realized that I'd been too much like my rich dad, and that I wanted to run the second half of my life more like my poor dad, but I was going to teach people what my rich dad taught me. That was a decision I made. But the thing is, it's a choice. And my propensity, my natural inclination, my genetic makeup, my mental makeup is more to be poor. I have to fight my natural inclination to go for job security, to play it safe, save money, invest for the long term, all that other rot my father believed in. The point I'm making here is this: every morning I get up, I still make the same choice. Every morning I get up, I make the choice. Do I make the choice to be poor, middle class, or rich? And we all have that choice. You know, we have to, as individuals, make that choice. By the end of my talk today, you'll find out how easy it is to become exceedingly wealthy. But it's just a choice. Okay. So my intention is to maybe shake some of your core values. You know, think about the way you think, change the way you think. You may want to make some new choices and things like this. That's my purpose. So what I'd like to ask you to do is you find a partner. I'll give you about 30 seconds, and you can just talk it over. You talk about what your parents taught you, what choices you had, but more importantly, talk about this subject here. It's just an idea. What were some of the ideas you got from your family? The idea that you think you work harder and make more money, will that make you rich? I don't think so. And there's only two kinds of money problems. Which one do you want? If you're sitting by yourself, break out a notebook and just write down some of your thoughts. Because really, it's just your ideas that cause you to be rich, poor, middle class. So we take about 30 seconds and discuss with the person next to you some of these ideas. Thank you. The main point of the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, for those who have not read it, so this is book number 1. The main message and the point is the importance of financial literacy. Can you read a financial statement? So, again, comparing my rich dad and my poor dad, the school teacher, was very word literate. I mean, he read a novel a week. He read constantly. And he used to say to me, you know, readers are leaders and leaders are readers. I said, good. And I go see my rich dad, who didn't read that much. He says, but the difference between your father and I is I can read I can read numbers. So so Rich Dad, Poor Dad is very simply about the numbers. And this is an income, expense, assets, and liability. And that's the basis of financial literacy, a financial statement. Now, the problem, and so what it is about the difference between assets and liabilities, things like this, and this is really what the book was about. You know, the thing about asset, my father would say our house is an asset, and my rich dad would say it's not, because very simply assets, according to my rich dad, asset will put money in your pocket whether you work or not. And a liability will take money from your pocket whether you work or not. That was very simply it. The important things about a financial statement is that it allows you to see the truth instead of being stymied by other people. My bankers never asked me for my report card yet, you know. And what your banker asks for is your what? Financials. Because what a banker wants to see is your financial intelligence, not your academic intelligence. And both are important. Academic intelligence is important, you know, forever. But so is financial intelligence. So my rich dad said your financial statement is your report card once you leave school. And the problem is 99% of the people leave school and they don't have a clue what a financial statement is, much less what a checkbook is. You know, they know credit card, but they don't